Guys, welcome back. We are in a park in Ehrenfeld. We are currently attending to Gamescom and watching all the Overwatch shorts and developer updates in a park because we love
you
Overwatch.
and Overwatch.
All right, here we go. So we're watching upcoming Season 6 changes here. This is to sync up for my edit later. And here it goes. Season 6 changes.
Welcome everyone to another developer update. I am Jeff from the Overwatch team, and I'm here to talk about Season 6. So competitive play has been going great, but we've been listening to a lot of feedback and we're constantly making changes and iterations to our competitive play to keep it as fun and refreshing as possible for you guys. So I'm pretty excited to talk about some big new changes that are coming to competitive play for Season 6. The biggest change that you're going to notice right away is we're going to try something brand new, which is
way more nudity.
We're going to move the season to a 2-month season rather than a 3-month season that we usually do. And you might be wondering, well, why are you making this change? There's a number of reasons. At first, when we were testing competitive play in the beta, and not a lot of you were there playing with us at the time, we tried 1-month seasons and we got overwhelming feedback that this was just way too fast and there didn't feel like there was enough significant time for you to earn the rank that you believe that you should be at and stay at that rank. So we implemented, when we went back with our competitive play mode, we implemented 3-month seasons. I think this has been pretty good overall, but what we've seen both in feedback and in statistical
I'm not a fan of the end of
season.
season. People stop trying. People don't care.
Is a lot higher.
Maybe it'll be better with
of the season, and there's also a perception that the games early on in the season are more competitive. People are trying a lot harder.
They're also clusterfucks though, Jeff. Because people are in ranks where they don't belong. It's like
for a while,
I'm in gold.
Seasons and see how everybody feels about that. So we think that will give you that fun placement period back more frequently, and also you will get your
But the placements mean nothing
more frequently. Now we've made some
placements mean like everything to people.
Points to
okay, well that
for
is something. We're gonna get way more competitive points.
Totals at the end of the season aren't quite as big as they used to be, but overall for the year you should be roughly getting about the same amount. And then we're also giving you more
the same amount, so
points per win in competitive play starting in Season 6. So that should feel pretty good. Now there are a lot of other changes coming.
I want something more than gold weapons,
One of the top
Jeff.
complaints that I hear
Let me spend it on something more.
Forums or I check social media is that players are unhappy with how skill rating decay works if you are diamond or above. And
I just experienced skill rating decay for the first time this year, this season.
Instead of 7 games played per week, we're going to require 5, so we're going to reduce that a little bit, which should make things feel a little bit
Doesn't
better.
help things when you have to go, like, you know, away.
When you decay, rather than having you decay by 50 skill rating, we're going to have that and have you decay by 25 skill rating. So it should be a little bit less of a sting. Now, unfortunately,
I don't know.
At the high levels of play, skill rating decay is kind of
not good enough for this
because
to
it
really
prevents
matter to me.
a lot of sort of undesired behaviors that we see if it's not there. For the long term, we have other ideas to fight against the need for skill rating decay, but for Season 6, we feel
there's
like
a huge issue with it.
Will make it feel
the distribution of where people are. There's a huge spike if you look at the stats at 3,000.
For example.
And people who came back to play Doomfist, like, were at 3,000 because they decayed from higher ranks, and they didn't give a fuck because they're like, I decayed, and they just didn't play right.
Right. Are a best out of 5 that will
control
play.
maps
So
are
somebody
changing.
has to win 3 control points on control in competitive play in order to win the match. We've noticed that an inordinate number of these matches are going into overtime. We're seeing lots of 99 to 99% holds on control and a lot of 5-point maps and matches taking place. And this is resulting in very long match times. When we look at Assault, Hybrid, and Escort compared to Control, we were really surprised to see that Control was sort of an outlier in terms of how long matches were taking. To solve this for Season 6, the control maps will be a best out of 3. So whoever wins 2, just like in quick play, will win the match.
They're gonna be quick
This will
matches.
get you into more matches sooner rather than later.
They're
This
my
will
favorite
make,
maps,
you
and
know,
now I'm going to
losing
be
a
spending
control
less
map
time on those.
sting less, especially right now in
Yeah,
season
that's a bummer.
5. It really stings when
Maybe
your team goes
they could increase
5
the
full
frequency of those
points
maps then,
and
if
maybe
we're gonna be
loses
playing
That's
in
kind of what he was
overtime.
saying, I think.
Okay.
It's kind
It'll
of
get you in
devastating,
quicker.
and we want those moments to go a little bit faster. So that change to control is coming. We think that will feel great. The other thing we're doing for season 6 is we're changing how placements work to try to place you more accurately where you belong. In seasons 4 and 5, we were doing some
Wouldn't that be
experimentation
nice?
where we were actually placing you a little bit lower than where your skill rating should have
A little
been.
bit?
And
A
we
little
were
bit,
allowing
Jeff.
you to climb a little bit more earlier in the season.
Oh,
to just make you
climb. I would
feel
use the
better
word
about
dig yourself out of a
the
fucking
problem was
pit.
this didn't work for everybody. For a lot of people, what would happen is
I
they
thought
would
he was
end
saying he was
season
implementing
4,
that
for
even more
example,
so.
I'm
at
glad to hear
maybe
it confirmed that they
diamond,
experimented,
skill rating.
because it was clear something
And
was
then
different.
Yeah.
They would go and do their placements in season 5, and they'd end up in platinum, and they'd end up feeling pretty bad, thinking to themselves, well,
You know,
hey,
I
I was
felt
diamond
bad.
last season. You know, how come I'm so far off? And even though we knew under the hood that person was going to work their way back to diamond.
And if
it
there's
felt
anything I don't like,
wrong
gang, it's anybody
deflating
feeling
you on
bad.
purpose
I'm
just
Jeff.
So you would have a sense of progression later. So we've
Just
done
so you
away
know.
with that system in season 6. You should place more or less accurately to where your skill rating should be. That's not a guarantee that if you were at platinum in season 5, you'll definitely be platinum in season 6. It just means that you're more likely to be placed at an accurate skill rating. So we think that change should feel pretty good as well. Other than that, there
it's
are
gonna
some
be
changes
pretty
coming
good,
to the
guys.
matchmaker that not everybody will
so
feel,
cute.
but I think it's important to mention to some people. Our high-skilled players in particular have more matchmaking issues than anybody else because there are far fewer of you out there.
That's
We
like
have
you.
decided
Hmm.
that
You're
it is
high.
okay
I don't know.
to wait a little
Diamond
bit
means high
longer
or
to
not
get
to-
matches that we feel will be better for you. This will actually benefit everybody.
We have to wait longer?
Because we have a pretty good sense right now when we put you in a match, how close to 50-50 that match is. And what we really want to do is avoid putting you in matches
I'm gonna
that
trust
don't
them.
have as close to a 50-50 chance of either team winning. So this does mean that in particular for highly skilled players, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to put you in a better match. That means
I wonder
you
what
won't
little
get
bit means
in
to him.
matches where you stomp the other team and gain
You always like to know numbers.
like a really tiny bit of skill rating. And it also means that those of us that are a little bit lower skill rating than those high skill rating players hopefully won't be getting stomped by those teams quite as much. Hopefully it's not super noticeable to most of us, and hopefully it's a lot of fun despite the fact that you might have to
I wonder if this will have a
wait
big
for long
effect on
time.
groups.
If we sense that wait times are out of control or the matchmaking is not, doing everything that we want it to do,
He has a lot to say,
don't
that
worry,
kid.
we will
Yeah.
jump in there and make changes. It's something we're watching very closely. All
It's
in
the
all,
same
you
kid
have to
from
know
before.
that the competitive play mode is an ongoing process. We are never going to just let it stagnate. We will always keep trying changes and trying to make it better. We know that it's an extremely important part of the game, if not the most important part of the game, where players feel like they can find the truest, most honest competitive matches, and we want
It's
to
the best
keep
part
it
of Overwatch.
It's
It's
over time.
they've done it
We
right.
think
They
that
have.
We
the
may
changes
groan,
that I
but it's
mentioned
clear that they care about
greatly
making it
benefit
work over
everybody
time.
for season
Yeah.
6.
Yes,
We think
there are hiccups
there
and
will be
there's
an
like growing
overall
pains,
improvement
but
in
It
season
came
6.
with our
But you need to know
disparity
that we're
in
already talking
Still,
about
and
further
yet we
both
changes
still
played
enjoy
in
it.
very
for
much
season
enjoy it.
7 and 8. So it's something we're really thinking about, and we're trying to be very
Matchmaking's
proactive
got to be the
about.
hardest thing to do in
What's going to
gaming,
be very
like as a
beneficial to
developer.
us, though, is
I wonder how
hearing
big their
feedback
team
on
is
what
just
you think
dedicated to
about these
matchmaking.
changes
Yeah.
in season 6 are accomplishing. Are they working? Are they not working? I know you guys will be vocal with us. I know you'll be clear in your feedback. So
Oh, yeah.
we really look forward to what you have to say.
How can you
And
say the
we hope
stuff
to
with
keep
your, like,
making
stank?
competitive play great. So thanks for
I don't know how
listening
he
to
does
our
it.
Say
changes
that
that are coming
with,
up,
like,
and I hope you all play.
By which I mean to say,
extremely
gang, you're a bunch of
high
piss
in
ants and I
season
have no
6.
respect for you
Thanks.
or your opinions. But my wife says I have to focus my anger in more constructive ways, so that's what we're working on in season 6.
We're all gonna have a good time.
All right, that was interesting. I feel like as usual with a lot of these developer updates, the true details, the proof will be in the pudding when we see what really is going to happen. It was interesting. I think that's his first confirmation that they experimented with season 5, which a lot of people were thinking was true.
I thought it was basically all but confirmed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they ever
just
confirmed it on the forums because I don't follow those micro updates, but
Right.
like it was clear the moment I got ranked that something was different because like I went through on my placements and won like 8 games and was, I think, pretty much the best person on the team. I'm not boasting, I'm just saying like it felt like usually like I'm the higher skill rank out of everybody and I was doing my job. I was on fire the whole time. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna do really good this placement. And then it comes, I'm like, and it placed me lower than I've ever been. And I was like, what? That was my best placement matches I'd ever done.
Yeah, I remember predicting where I thought that you were gonna be, and
Everybody in the chat was
way
predicting.
off.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then Fraser came home and cried.
I went inside and
Jeff.
just bawled, wailing Jeff's name.
Yeah.
All right.
Why, Jeff?
We have another developer update to watch. These have been coming out in like another 10 minutes here, and then we're done for today. And then we get to go to Gamescom. So next video's coming up. It'll all be in a playlist. Tune in. We'll be back soon. All right, guys. Last video of the day. Here in this beautiful, quiet, kids saying blah 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 park. And we're gonna watch the final developer update that I think just came out yesterday. This is the most timely one. Again, sorry for the delay getting these to you guys. It's just been like trying to find the time and a place. And here we go. The final developer update.
This is the old video you need
Oh,
to...
is it?
Yep.
No, this is hero balance updates.
How did you
Here
do
it goes.
that?
All right, so I've heard that it has to do with Mercy. I knew this.
What's up, everyone? This is Jeff here with another developer update to tell you about something super
Oh, he looks
awesome,
excited.
which is
Yeah.
big
Tell you
changes
about-
coming for Mercy. Now, Mercy is one of the top played characters in
I am
Overwatch.
horrible with her.
So I know
I-
there are
I thought
many,
changes
many
were
of
gonna
you
come,
out there who
nerfs,
are Mercy
because
mains who are
she's
suddenly worried. What are you doing
pretty
to
much
my
like
beloved
Lucio used to
Mercy?
be.
Please
You
don't
have
wreck
to
her.
play. You have to have a
Keep her
Mercy on your
awesome.
team.
We love
That's the
It
way
Mercy.
it
feels
is right
like.
now?
We love Mercy too.
So you think they're gonna
we
nerf
wanted
her?
to put a lot
Yep,
of focus
that's my
and
guess.
attention into improving the Mercy.
Just like
play
they did Lucio,
experience.
'cause
And I
Lucio was
think
too
it's
critical
important
before.
For me to start with,
I love playing
why
as
are
Lucio.
we
I did too.
changing Mercy in the first place? So one of the problems we see with Mercy right now is there's a weird behavior that's encouraged by the core fundamental design of the hero, which is that if you are a Mercy player and you're healing your team, and
Stop
your
healing them
ultimate is
before
up
your
or
ult.
close to being up,
Yeah.
you have this weird moment where you stop healing your team.
I just made fun of this on the
you
show
go into
recently.
Yes, you
hiding,
did.
I
and
talked
you start
about
to tell
Mercy
your
behind a
team,
dumpster,
"Everybody die
Yep.
together,
turning
die on the
tricks
point,
for-
die on the point, I have
for
res."
voting cards.
There are people who might not be listening to you on your team who are now yelling at you, "Why aren't you healing? Why aren't you healing?" They go off and die somewhere else. Anyway, the team eventually wipes,
Just die
and then
somewhere.
Mercy swoops in and does her big resurrect.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that we really don't like about this. One, we think it's wrong to tell a main healing character to go off and hide somewhere. And,
Yeah,
and
why would
stop
she do that
healing for some
canonically,
period of time.
flavor-wise? Why would
The
she
other
ever
thing
do
is
that?
That on the receiving end, like let's say you are a team that puts a lot of effort into getting a full team wipe. Use a Zarya, Graviton Surge, and maybe you have Pharah Rain Justice from
that takes a
above.
lot of
On
coordination.
top of that, you wipe out the entire enemy team. It's pretty disheartening to have Mercy just erase that moment with a full team.
And it happens a lot,
So
and it feels
we
like you
felt
have
her
no,
resurrect was
like,
something
what do you
that
go
needed to
hunt
be
Mercy for 3
addressed.
minutes until you find
The
her,
other
and
thing
then
that we were hearing frequently from Mercy players is,
So
hey,
what's
you
the
know,
change
Mercy
gonna be if
doesn't
this is
have
what he's
an
talking about,
alternate
like-
ability. She has Guardian Angel, which is a ton of fun, super useful. I'm
Ton of
using
fun,
it all
gang.
the time. But how come Mercy has one less ability? So we're making some big changes to Mercy. The first change that I'll let you know about, and it's going to seem a little bit shocking at first.
sounds like
is
he's about
that
to give us bad
her
news.
ultimate is no longer Resurrect.
Mhm.
Resurrect is becoming her second ability. So now she'll have Guardian Angel and Resurrect. Now there are some changes coming to Resurrect.
Okay.
Resurrect is now single
One person at a
target
time.
only,
Okay.
but it's on a cooldown.
Whoa.
So you don't have to worry about generating an ult all the time. It is a
Wow.
rather long
Whoa,
cooldown, so you won't
dude.
see players constantly resurrected, but it
I wonder
becomes
how
a
long.
really cool strategic moment in deciding
20
who
seconds.
to
20?
resurrect and
That would be
when.
my
Okay.
So
my
now
best guess.
resurrect is a
Yeah.
What's
common
the
ability
longest
on Mercy rather than her
ability
ultimate ability.
cooldown right now?
Now,
14.
Overwatch in a lot of ways has heroes who are
I'm thinking
defined by their ultimate
Widowmaker or
abilities.
Sombra.
And we
Okay.
knew
Or, no, that's
how
too long,
amazing
but-
Resurrect was as an ultimate ability for Mercy.
My guess
so we
is
felt like
it's going to be
we
15
really
to 20
had to come
seconds
up with
cooldown. That's my
something
guess.
special for Mercy players so that they felt like their new ultimate was really worthy of the
That's
hero
huge.
that they've
This
come
is
to
huge.
love and respect so much. So Mercy will be getting an ultimate that's called Valkyrie, and Valkyrie does a lot of things. So let me walk you
Okay.
through all of them.
Yes,
First
please.
and foremost, when Mercy
This is gonna be
activates Valkyrie,
battle
she can
based.
fly. And I don't mean that she can Pharah boost in the air briefly. I mean she can
flies.
fly. And it's super fun. You have complete
Okay.
control of your character. After all, Mercy has those
Like,
wings.
no
we
clip
might as
mode
well
and,
put
like-
them to real use. I mean, Guardian Angel's pretty good, but imagine flying with Mercy.
Okay.
How much fun it could be.
Interesting.
The other cool thing about Mercy when she's in Valkyrie is that everything she does is basically better. So Guardian Angel now goes much further than it did before, so she can reach targets
Zips to
much
people.
easier. Her beams now go further, both healing and damage boost beams can
So she just
reach
becomes
much
like this
further than they could.
overwatching,
The
like,
coolest part about
god
the beams
for a
is
while
now
or something.
they change multiple targets. So if you have multiple teammates who are in need of healing and they're grouped up, the beam will hit all of them and they'll all be getting
What?
healed or they'll all be getting damage boosted.
The
Okay,
same
Also,
amount?
for
she's
those of
gonna
you
need
battle
damage
mercies
reduction
out there,
then,
and I
because
know you
everybody's just gonna
exist,
look up and
her gun
Yeah.
is now better when she's in Valkyrie mode. She can shoot faster and it does more damage, which is basically like
Wow.
me saying in
Damn,
two
dude.
ways she can do more damage. I think the thing that you'll like about it the most is the ability to fly. I think the flying really opens up those moments for Mercy where she's getting attacked, her teammates aren't really helping her out,
Like
she
how
needs
high,
a chance
how
to get away.
far,
And
how long?
really just sort of flying. The other thing you
Yeah,
can do is
that's the
swoop
question
in
is
and
how long
save
does this
people at the
last?
right
Yeah.
times. And by
My
the
guess
way,
is gonna be
your resurrect,
it'll be a long one, I think, like
refreshes right when you
Orisa
use
style
the ultimate
length,
ability.
Yeah.
like a
Now,
20-second
on the
one, or
PTR,
I don't even
we're
know what
gonna
her.
be experimenting with different versions of the resurrect.
It needs to
and
be
how
long
it
enough
works
to
with
make
Valkyrie.
one good
Right
push
out the
with a
gate,
Valkyrie.
You'll see that
Right.
she can use resurrect even faster when she's in Valkyrie. So in a lot of ways,
And I guess
you
because
now
she's
have,
healing more and doing more
Battle
damage, she'll
Mercy
build.
Get it more?
flies to
Will
the
you get to
air,
build
sees
alt
her
during this?
teammates in trouble all around the
Oh.
battlefield.
Is it going to be one of those
and then
alts
flies
where
to
you're
them,
building
either
alt
heals
while
them,
the
or if
alt's
they have
going?
to
Yeah.
Not a lot of
she's
heroes
gonna,
have that.
you know,
Orisa does.
resurrect different ones of them.
My
We
guess would
feel
be
like
no,
Mercy will feel a lot more engaging to play than standing around the corner, hiding, waiting for that moment to press the ultimate.
I'm gonna wait
So
till I've tried
we
it, but
really
like
hope
I don't play her
that
Mercy
you
a lot, but I
respond
think
well
these
to
sound like
changes to
positive
Mercy.
changes.
We know that she is
And
a
it sounds
character
like
that's
almost like we're
played
getting a new
almost
character,
second to none.
like in a way.
Totally sounds
And
like
so
we're getting
we
a
think
new
we're gonna
character,
get
like
a
one that
ton of feedback
flies.
from you,
Mhm.
and
That's
we're
wild.
really eager to hear. We want to hear what the Mercy players have
I think
to
you're gonna
say,
see
and we
some
wanna hear
pretty
what people
badass plays of the
who
game
have
now
played on the
Yeah.
receiving
because of
end
this
of
that aren't just
team-wide
resurrects.
feel
Yeah.
and how they feel about
Because they're
Valkyrie. How do you
boring. I
feel
mean,
it-
like,
the balance
yes,
is,
when a great
is
one
it fun to
happens, you're
play
like,
against?
holy
Do
fuck,
you
Mercy,
understand
thank
what's
you.
going on?
Yeah.
But the plays of the
So,
game are
we
boring
think
when they
this will
happen,
be a
kind of.
good,
And
healthy change
I think
for the
now you're
game
gonna see some badass
overall.
Mercy
So we
plays
look
of the game.
forward to what you have to say there. Now, I also want to give you a heads up that eventually, and not all of these are going to happen right away, but eventually there's going to be some changes to
I
some
wanted
other
them to be like,
heroes as
heads
well.
up, I'm
I don't
going out
wanna
of town for the
instill panic
weekend.
in anybody, but we
My
are
cats
going
are
to
there.
take another look
I need
at
somebody to look
d.va.
after them.
We're doing some experiments to
d.va
her
changes.
right now, and to be clear about what we're looking at on d.va specifically is defense matrix. We've heard both from d.va players and from players playing against d.va that defense matrix can feel almost smothering. And what I mean by this is, as
Like
a
you're
d.va
obligated
player,
to
you
use
feel
it?
almost required to maximize your uptime with this ability because it is so powerful. And
Yeah.
on the receiving end, at times it feels like there's no counter to defense matrix. if you take something like Orisa's shield or Reinhardt's shield, you understand when that
But
ability
Zarya can
is
counter
going to
it,
be
and
on
Mei
cooldown.
can.
Like you see Reinhardt's shield is cracking and it's going to go down, and you know
like
if
you
you
have no
destroy
idea.
it, you've got a window of opportunity there against
Right.
Reinhardt.
It does
Where
feel like she
D.va with
constantly
Defense
fucking
Matrix,
has it,
it's
like-
pretty much up all the time.
Yeah.
And even when she lowers it, she can feather it very quickly to deny
Yeah.
certain crucial abilities, such as, Zarya's ultimate, which is Graviton Surge, for example. It's a little bit devastating right now, so we're looking at changes to D.va to lessen the impact of Defense Matrix without injuring the character's ability to perform her primary role, which is that of tank. So please don't panic. We're not going to overly hurt D.va. We're also looking to give her other fun things to do. And we
Running
have
through
a
the
couple of
street.
experiments in play right now internally.
A guy
that
behind him just
we
rips through
believe
the
will make her
painting
more
and is like,
skillful
no!
and
No,
more
Jeff!
fun to play offensively, which is something that we've heard a lot from our D.va players
Okay.
as well.
It'll be
that they're
so.
looking
There's
for
probably
something
patch
to
notes
do
that we can look at the nitty
besides
gritty here.
Just hold that Defense Matrix button down. These
Thanks,
changes
Jeff.
will be coming out soon.
They're hitting the
We
PTR
will
today.
provide you more details as soon as we have something that we feel is worthy of your time and attention and playable on the PTR. So hopefully as soon as possible, it's what our focus is right now. Overall, even though we've had some of these heroes in the game since day one, we feel like it's our responsibility to always look after both the players of these heroes and the people who are on the other side, which is our player base in its entirety, and make sure that everybody's playing out as fun as possible. Rest assured, if things aren't playing out well on the PTR, or if things happen to go live and they're not playing out perfectly or to the community's liking, we will go back and keep looking at these things. We look forward to your discussion. We look forward to those of you who go to the PTR and actually check things out. And we also look forward to people's impressions. Let us know what you think
go to
of
the
these
website from
changes,
here.
guys, and have fun with
maybe I
them.
can.
We'll check in next time. Bye.
Bye, Jeff.
All right. I need to get an internet connection on my laptop here through my phone, so we're just going to pause real quick as we go to look at the patch notes. Just 1 second. All right, guys, we're back, and I have an internet connection now, so I'm just going to go to Blizzard and play Overwatch patch notes.
I'm so interested to hear what Mercy Mains think about this.
I
these
think I saw
changes.
some people upset that were tweeting me saying that they were stupid changes.
Okay.
That they don't like them. I'm not a Mercy main,
Yeah.
but from what he described to me, sounds like an interesting experiment. Well, they're probably pretty committed to this already, but I think that it could potentially be quite positive because like I said, I went on quite a rant when I talked about Mercy sitting behind a dumpster, like turning tricks. It really feels like that sometimes. She's so perfect and proper, but then suddenly she just decides that I'm going to not be a doctor for a while.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let all you guys
all of you die so that I can be this amazing. Like even one of the early fan comics makes fun of it as she's just sitting there waiting for what? Come on, die! Waiting for the last person to die so that she can get the big res.
Yeah.
All right, so. First of all, general, arcade and custom games players will no longer see the assemble your team screen at the beginning of the game when they respawn a random hero. Players who purposely kill themselves in the game where respawn and random hero is enabled will no longer be respawned as a random hero. Okay, this doesn't really affect. I'm not going to be doing these types of games. These are updates. Skull icons indicate where a teammate was killed throughout the map have been replaced with hero portrait icon. You'll be able to see exactly which hero died where.
Dude, that's interesting.
Third-person camera view will now frame the action automatically when spectating or waiting to respawn. So I don't get to flip through and look at which character I want to look at. That's interesting. So it'll choose the best angle and just make me watch through it. Okay. Maybe I'm not reading that right, but d.va micro missiles. So he made that update seemingly before they were completely solidified because he didn't talk about much. He said that they were going to come. Seem like they're kind of making this one up as they go. Maybe because she's so dominant right now in the meta, they felt like they had to do something quick. Micro missiles, new ability. d.va fires a barrage of small rockets that detonate on impact, dealing damage in a limited radius around each explosion. we need to know the numbers, and I won't know until
Yeah.
I'm sure later. I don't want to go looking for it. These can be fired while d.va is using other abilities or while firing her fusion cannon. So it sounds like it's going to be a left trigger for me, so that I can do one while doing the other.
Okay.
Defense matrix resources meter will now deplete twice as quickly. So this is going to make dealing with bastions a lot harder. Because usually that's my best way of dealing with bastions, is diving as d.va and leaving a matrix on him while the other heroes shoot at him. Now it feels like there's not going to be enough matrix for both the charge and for the actual dive itself. Defense matrix, okay. Boosters, fusion cannons can now be fired while flying.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's fun.
that is going to be
That's gonna look
very hard on Farah. Poor Farah. She just keeps getting inadvertently
yeah.
nerfed over and over again.
Yeah.
Because at this point, d.va's actually been, if you get good at d.va, she can be a pretty good counter to Farah. Not from a distance, like, say, Soldier, but, like, there's been times where, like, just like Winston, rocket up towards her, and then bump her once, maybe punch her too.
Yeah.
And I forget the exact amount of damage. I guess that does like maybe 80 damage. And then as you're falling, you're just kind of shooting and shooting and shooting. And hopefully you'll get her down maybe half health. So in coordination with somebody else, or if she was low health to begin with, you can deal with Farah sometimes on certain maps. If the Farah is cramped or can't get to, isn't comfortable basically, you can deal with her. And she just keeps on getting inadvertent nerfs.
Yeah.
Not from herself, but from other characters getting better at dealing with her. And this sounds like flying towards her while shooting.
How awesome is that gonna feel, though?
It's gonna be interesting.
I love playing d.va. I think that's gonna just make her feel.
Her charge is going after also not just Farah, but the boost doesn't just fly; it just goes fast. So there's gonna be times where you're chasing down like small characters like Mercy, Lucio, Tracer, going after them, chasing. It has always kind of sucked that you're chasing these characters, but you can't shoot until you catch up.
Yeah.
Then you catch up and they just keep going because they're faster than you. Her uptime has proven to be too strong. Simply reducing it without making other changes is making her too weak and far less interesting to play. Instead, adding a new ability and giving her ability while flying. These changes give d.va a lot of new options while maintaining defense matrix ability to shut down bigger enemy attacks. So it sounds to me like the matrix is going to be way less about tanking for other characters, or rather, I guess it's not going to be a blanket, constantly being used thing. It's going to be very much a critical moment thing, where you must intuitively know when the big damage is going to be coming through and when you got to get out. And I've always, often defense matrix is used as an escape. You turn it on when you realize you're in over your head, and then you get out.
Boot out.
All right, Mercy, Resurrect. Okay, here's the numbers. Ability now targets a single player to resurrect. Ability cooldown, 30 seconds. What did I say?
Whoa,
20.
You said 20. I said
Wow.
12. Because I was thinking the highest amount was 12 seconds before.
Yeah,
but he did say
I
longer.
thought there was a 14-second character, and
There
I was
probably
thinking it
is.
was either Widowmaker's Grapple or it was Sombra's
Okay.
cooldown. Valkyrie
30 seconds.
unleashes the full power of Mercy's Valkyrie suit, enhancing her weapons and abilities for 20 seconds.
Okay.
So I think that's about Orisa length of her thing going down. That's a pretty long ult. And it's enough for a good push through for to dive.
I think that's what you said, actually. 20 seconds for that.
Healing and damage boost beams now affect all allies near the targeted teammate, and the staff's effective range has been extended. The blaster grants infinite ammo, so she doesn't have to reload, while simultaneously increasing the damage and the fire rate. That is going to be so much fun, I think, and you're going to see some crazy-ass Mercy plays. Flying while shooting down on people while they don't get healing.
It's so interesting that she flies.
Yeah, it's going to be very... I wonder if it works the same way that you do. I know it's not going to be like Farah. He even said that. Not a booster ability, but will you fly the same way? Will you hold jump like you do with Farah to raise? Because nobody... it shouldn't work like d.va, where you have to point in the direction you want to go, because then you can't target people, right? Resurrect cooldown is instantly reset when Valkyrie is activated and reduced. Oh, so she gets one free cooldown. One free resurrect. So you could resurrect a person, press triangle, resurrect another person. So you get 2 resurrects.
In Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you instantly get it back. So the smartest
yes,
move would be
yes.
to resurrect, alt,
Right.
resurrect again. And then potentially resurrect a 3rd time
If you
right
had
towards
done it
the end of that
immediately.
alt.
Yeah.
Resurrect cooldown is instantly reset. Okay. Hover, she gains the ability to fly freely and increased movement speed. Regeneration passive no longer interrupted when Mercy takes damage during this mode. I was saying
Okay.
she needs damage reduction, and that's effectively it. She's going to be constantly regenerating health without, because if you took damage before, you didn't get your health back. You had to wait like about 4 seconds before your health started coming back, maybe
Okay.
3, I think. While resurrecting down a core part of her gameplay, it was frustrating to play against and incentivize Mercy players to hide from important battles, etc. We heard Jeff say all this.
Okay.
This is interesting too because it's kind of funny. It's like, I mean, if she's got to resurrect one person, who's she going to choose? Probably Soldier, not Reaper. That's the whole idea. They had a, like, I know this from
Pardon me.
fan arts. They had a battle to the death, pretty much. They have destroyed, or like, I don't know the whole details, but Reaper and Soldier faced off and both basically got themselves killed. And I guess Mercy came and resurrected Soldier. I think. I don't know exactly the details, but unless that's just completely fan made up and that's a joke, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Huh?
Again, I've stayed away from the Overwatch lore on purpose. You guys have to just accept that. For me, it's fun piecing it together like this.
Yeah.
To only know just a little bit. Just don't be angry. Okay, barrier field, holding primary fire
For Reinhardt.
while your shield is activated now allows you to rotate the camera.
While your shield is activated.
So, if your shield is L2, like it is for me, R2 is the hammer. If you have your shield up while holding L2, pressing R2 isn't going to swing your hammer. Instead, from Leaf just hit Becky. Instead, it's going to make it so that you use the right stick and suddenly start to look around yourself. Reinhardt finally has rear view mirrors. Finally.
Have you been asking for
I've
this for a
wanted
long
it for
time?
so long. Nothing is more frustrating with Reinhardt where you are trying to be a good Reinhardt, hold the line, and you're just like, I've got my shield up. And then you're like, let me just check on something. And you flip around and nobody's with you. And you're like, and it's especially, this mainly applies to pubs. And it's like, or they've all kind of like decided to dodge a little bit to the right or like something like that. It's so hard to know where you exactly need to be to work with your team. If you're not practiced with a team of 6 that you regularly play with, those guys, they'll work together because they just get to know each other's minds. But with a pub, you need the ability to kind of know what's happening.
Yeah.
Or to know what the fuck is shooting you right now. Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking it was more for.
in the past, I didn't want to drop my shield, so I just flip around and I would take damage from the front for a bit just so I could see what's going on.
Right.
I'd keep my shield up so my teammates are still being shielded, but I'm taking damage from the front now.
Yeah.
But usually I just do a quick spin just to see what's going on back there. This is a huge, awesome update. All right. And then some user interface stuff. That's it, guys. We're caught up on Overwatch.
Wow.
When we get back,
That
maybe it's going to
Mercy
be out of the
shit's so
PTR by
interesting.
then and maybe be able to play it in a real setting. I think the next season will start close to when we come back.
Yeah, probably.
Time to go to Gamescom. I'm gonna go upload these now. See you guys later. Hope you've been watching my videos as well from
Gamescom.
here. Yep. Goodbye. I love you.
Bye.